Thank you very much, sir, to be part of this discussion over here. As I mentioned today, we will be covering three topics today. We will be trying to come up and clear the myth of on-prem and cloud. What is the best way to move forward? We will be talking about today what is the role of AI, machine intelligence, BI, and how they can work with this uncompromising enterprise together. And the third topic that we'll be covering today is why the change management is the key for any transformation project that we are talking about. So let me start first, Nadeem, from you. Cloud or on-prem. Wherever we go, we hear about this one. This is better. These are the advantages. Data ko bahar nahi le ja sakte. Security compromise ho jayegi. And all these vendors then come and say, this is how we will take care of this project. And especially considering the fact that now a lot of public sector and a lot of private sector with small SMEs are also thinking of growing their business from that direction. So which is the path?
Thank you very much for having me here today, Saquib. I appreciate that. I think for the last day and a half, we are overwhelmed by many, many things, and certainly it's a very great learning experience for myself as well. It's very interesting whenever we go and tell the customer on-prem or cloud is like a buy or lease kind of an option. And everybody resists cloud. All of a sudden, data becomes commodity, data is oil, data is natural resources, it's so valuable, you're going to steal it away from me. So normally I give one story. I say, imagine 300 years ago, somebody came to you and say, give me your gold coins, and I'll give you a piece of paper, and you keep it, and whenever you need your gold coin, write a check, and I'll give you the gold coin back. And people say, of course not. I'm not going to give you my gold coins in terms of the piece of paper you hold it, because that trust of banking system was not there. Today, cloud brings freedom. I think the whole case is it frees you out from the resource management, and you can focus on your core business and focus on the customer experience you are serving. When it's come to the data integrity, data security, data sovereignty, these are the questions which I think have been answered. Earlier, I think panel clearly explained that there's a regulatory environment available, GDPR, there are data governance model available, there's privacy issues that are already there. But most of us are using Facebook or Instagram or Gmail and Yahoo Mail, and they don't have that data. They do basically data mining from yourself. So these are valid questions of the data, but the point is that question should not make you away from the cloud, which brings a lot of value for the organizations to go out of this daily operations of your infrastructure and software and everything as a service and really focus on what you are. And that's how the uncompromising organization do it. And today, large organizations were very successful, easily catch up, like Netflix or Instagram. They're not running their own single servers. Even WhatsApp is not running their own servers.
Nadeem took a very important point, that this is more about that organizations have to do their main job. Their main job is to sell their own products and let the IT companies manage what is there on the back end to support their business. And that's where the cloud story comes in. Arslan Sahab, how do you say, Siemens being a very traditional company, such a 100-year plus of history, which is used to doing a standard on-prem business for historical reasons, how do you think they are going to get ready for a cloud business?
I mean, first of all, sitting with two ERP leaders of the country, I feel like this gentleman. Ali, if you can please display the picture.
If you have the picture that Arslan Sahab is highlighting.
Yeah. Okay, this is what I feel like at the moment. But in reality, I mean, there are two things which I would like to state here. First of all, it has to be a judicious blend of both. I mean, as I told you yesterday, that we need to develop a digital ecosystem and we need to bring everyone along. The thing is that in our country, there is immense diversity in our industrial landscape, as well as, I would say, in our IT capabilities. On one end, there are conglomerates like Engro, Imran is sitting here, who, I mean, not only had a SAP One project, but in fact, a few years back, created a company of their own, which was first part of the Engro Corp, called Engro Digital, and then it became an independent company in Daud Holdings, called Empirica. So this is the high end of our market. And on the other end, I won't be naming, of course, the person, but we were implementing ERP in one of the organizations, and they said, okay, it's okay that SAP standard best practices there, but Miyaji wants to look at COPA the way he has been looking at it for last 30 years. So whatever you bring, whatever best practice you bring, yes, I know, as Nadeem Sahab has very rightly compared with the evolution of currency note, that is correct. Cloud is the future, but I think in my society, in Pakistan, we still need to carry on at least for another 10 years, I can say it very safely, with a blend of both on-prem and cloud.
So the blend of on-prem and cloud is important, and that ratio is changing. Because being 100% on-prem, we are graduating ourselves to the cloud direction, and it depends specifically on every company and overall the industry, how they grasp that moment. So that's how the story of between on-prem and cloud goes away. So then let me shift to the discussion to the second point. We have been talking about a lot of words which are very buzzwords these days. Artificial intelligence, BI, business intelligence, overall, machine learning algorithms. Arslan Sahab, how do you feel, and you are heading both the departments of industry and ERP over there in the Siemens side, how do you feel that this uncompromising enterprise, is it taking care of all these AI, BI, and all these solutions that we are talking about? Is it flexible enough to manage the requirements of our customers?
Thank you. I'll split my answer in two parts. First of all, yes, especially in the manufacturing sector of Pakistan, I mean, what does BI or AI or PL provide you? They provide you with business insights. They provide you with the ability to do good predictive analysis, and that is how you use data to take business decisions. So I mean, this is relevant, and this will become relevant for everyone, that not only have, I mean, a combination of BI and PL in manufacturing, but it will spill over in other industries as well. I mean, you remember that last year there was a huge tender in one of the utilities companies, that there was this drive to get the data from SAP and then connect it with smart metering, so that we can reach some kind of transparency, which is our biggest lacking and which is our biggest fear in evaluation, and a customer can have the actual customer experience of knowing what utilization is reflecting in his bill and what is the end result of it. So I mean, we are there, we are making efforts from right and left, but there is no single coordinated effort as such now to
achieve that one. I think one of the important things over here is to see over here that how this uncompromising enterprise is ready to be connected to all different future insights that we are talking about. We can talk about the main theme, main bus that is available over there, but I think the point that you have rising over here is that is the industry ready to manage all these applications that needs to be run on that one, because different solutions of every company provides these ones, but how we can make sure that the ecosystem gets ready and manage it in the best way, I think that is some of the thing that we need to challenge. So Nadeem, your viewpoint on that one.
I think I'll take a little step back. Maybe, let me bring a little another angle towards it. I've been in technology for the last 32 years, and I feel like every time these terms comes in, from BI to data warehousing and information systems and whatever we call it, it's more like, medical transcripts. You go to a doctor, you never see exactly what is written, right? The name of the medicine. And that's how we go to customer and say, you know what? Your problem can be solved by artificial intelligence, because today we are selling artificial intelligence. 30 years ago, we were selling management information system, MIS. I think what we need to know exactly what that solutions are, I think that's more important for the customers to know. And that's where I think the gap between the expectation and gap between what the capacity of the solution comes in, and after a while I've seen great solutions are not being adopted because that trust level is not there to start with, because the expectations were too high or expectation was not set right. Over the last year and a half, and I think now the big buzzword is disruption, transformation, and digital. So let me simplify the artificial intelligence BI with these three things. Disruption is a very sort of a positive word today, where I think the disruption mean inconvenience. You know, that you look at the dictionary. How come an inconvenience can bring a profit to you? That's what you need to really understand disruption and disruptors. Transformation is your mindset, how organization need to change the culture, the mindset and everything, and the goal where want to achieve it. That's the transformation. Digital is the means to achieve it. It's nothing more than that. So let me bring that, I think, I brought a little two pictures. I think I just want to engage the audience to it. There's one picture on the screen. Can somebody tell which company dreams to achieve this? 10 seconds. There's a company, multi-billion dollar today, want to achieve this. That's their achievement. That's their end goal. They want to go towards it. Uber. Uber don't want you to own a car. They want to empty parking lots. These kind of things, organization need to see it. That's organization wants to achieve. That's you need to do it. Can you do it? Can your organization can dream of these things? There can have another picture too as well. Second one, there's another one too. What is this? Coffee bar. It's a bank, Tangerine out of Canada. The bank says, customer don't need to come to me. I want to go to the customer. I want to be part of the daily routine. Every morning before you go to work, he pick up a cup of coffee before he go to office. Can he do his banking needs while he's just picking my coffee? So there are multiple examples towards it. I think that's a goal every organization need to have it before any digital transformation can take places. Today, what we're seeing this in ERP business, people think the manual processes could go automation. But they need to go beyond it, and that's where the artificial intelligence comes in. When the artificial intelligence comes in, when you have a data, I think we have talked about enough of the data earlier, and when we have a data, what to do with the data, and that machine learning model would need to be adopted. You need to tell kid what exactly you're doing. It's just consider a computer with the data is a kid with brain, but it doesn't know what to learn. Is your organization going to do the learning process? What exactly they're going to do to learn of the data? That's artificial intelligence is.
Thank you very much, Nadeem. Nadeem brought a very, very important point over here. That is about that what we need. We need transparency. We need clarity. There is a disruption that will need a way and a path to provide that end result that the digital transformation will provide. That's where we have to live in. I think the two examples that he gave is about the business disruption that we talk about today. And I think our businesses are not in competition with our competitor business doing the same thing. We are competing with a totally all different kind of experiences in the world that this digital technology is bringing in. Our competition is somewhere out there even we don't know today, and we need to make sure that our intelligent, uncompromising enterprise is ready to get ready to that competitive wave when it comes. Old examples of Nokia and old examples of Kodak film are always there, and the two examples that he showed are there in our day-to-day business, and that's what we need to achieve on that front. Coming to the third point of discussion, Arslan sahab, change management. I can say very, very openly out over there, you can select the best software to run your company. You can select the best system integrator to get it integrated and get the end results, but you will not be able to achieve the dream and the vision that you're looking at for your company if your employees, if your team doesn't believe in that change that you are trying to bring in. So the two factors that we provide over sitting the PTR, the companies that provide sitting on this floor at this point of time, still needs you as a customer to make sure that your teams very well understand that digital transformation journey that comes in there. Imran from Engro yesterday quoted a very, very good example when he said that there is no best time to do a digital transformation. The businesses and operations have to run always in parallel, and there will always be the time to do this digital transformation that is required in the need of the hour as well. So Arslan sir, over to you on that front. How do you feel, and what is the importance of this change management, and what different problems that you faced with our customers and with the ecosystem whenever we're trying to achieve a digital transformation journey?
One word, Saquib, ownership. As a lot of speakers since yesterday has talked about management ownership, we see, we are always doing projects in parallel with various customers for ERP implementation, and the timeliness and discipline of the project and the quality of end project is always driven by the ownership of the management, who actually forces its team to be serious about ERP and to actually adopt it as a way of life. There are other companies, you start two projects in parallel, both timed for 8 months, one ends in 7 months, and the second one drags on after 1 year. So this is the differentiating factor. The SAP software is the same. Siemens consulting team is the same. So where is the difference? The difference lies with the customer and its management team. How they push, how they value this investment, and how they believe in this actual transformation. Second example, very small one, is the fear of status quo, that lot of people say, okay, we will implement SAP, but we will keep the legacy system running in parallel for 3 months. There is a case in progress, such a case right now, and I have received calls from Osama Bengali for this, that please visit that customer. So this fear of unknown, that okay, if we stopped our legal system and went into uncharted waters, what will happen? You need to overcome this fear. And this fear can only become if the head of the organization, if the top man or the top team, the C-suite of that organization, has bought in the concept of digital transformation and ERP implementation.
I think Arslan sir mentioned a very important point of the fear of unknown. At times, the teams are fearful that this IT and digital transformation will take their jobs away. There is a fear that they will not be required on this wave. And I think that's very importantly that we need to guide the teams over there, that they have to learn, unlearn, and learn again. They have to make sure that how they can take benefit of this digital transformation and be useful for the company in another way. The human resource that the companies have spent money on is very important, whatever role they are doing. And we have spent time and money on that human resource, and no company can afford to let them go. And that fear needs to be managed in the best possible way. Nadeem sir, how do you feel that change management impact?
I think, yes, raised very valid point, the fear, but change is constant. The customer, the organization who are serving their internal and external customers, both, the change is a constant. And that's where I think mindset is not there, where they believe technology solution they're implementing will take them to some end goal, where the goalpost is going to change continuously. Customer experience is going to be changed continuously. Expectations are going to be on the rise continuously. So change management is a constant process. It's sort of an infinity loop you're running into it. You go to a restaurant, you have one time good experience, second time you at least the same or better experience. So it's a continuous change, it's an infinity loop. So change management, starting from the day one when you're basically transformations are happening, but second part is how you're evolving it, how the next phase is coming in. That's where the artificial intelligence comes in, when you have enough data gathered over the period, and then you analyzing it, and then you do the machine learning models on top of it. You all of a sudden, the new horizon, the new things open up for you. And that's where the change management comes in. And that requires a lot of boldness. And being a risk averse, most of the organization are traditionally, I think that's the mindset requires where you need bold decisions and then you go forward towards it.
I think the point is that we need, and the management team needs to take these bold decisions and then needs to stand by these bold decisions. At times, this disruption that comes in, it will come fast and the change management will get impacted. We need to create that very important balance that is required of running the business and doing the change management in parallel. The best change management, I will quote back to the Anglo team over there, was the one when your end customer doesn't feel it and they see the end results are the same, but you have digitally transformed on the back end to give the best results and improve either the efficiency of the company or do the cost optimization. These are the end results that we would like to achieve over here. I think one important question before I go to the key takeaways over here, I think is about why ERP, Nadeem Sahib, I will start from you on that front. Why ERP is a central stage in any digital transformation journey? Why not something else?
I think ERP, you cannot take the veins out of your body, right? So I normally relate ERP is like a veins in an organization which is sucking the blood in and bringing it to your heart. All the system, whether this is supply chain, whether it's a procurement, this is your customer relationship, whether it's a production, these are the systems, I mean, there are many more, are the ERP running through those systems, and when they're bringing the data in. That's what the core of any digital transformation, because you need data. When we talk about data, where the data is coming from, and where we're collecting data, where's the insertion point of it, where you're digesting it, ingesting it. I think that ERP is the core of it. And then you can run everything when the data is coming into it, and then you're analyzing it, and then you're running analytics, predictive, perspective, all those things, and then you move to the next phase, AI. So ERP is the base foundation, brings into the digital transformation.
I think that's important because all these companies, big names, we call them SAP, Oracle, IBM, Microsoft, they have also learned it in a clear way that there is not a future where we will come and say, since you are only using SAP, you will only use SAP in the future as well. I think we all have realized on the application front, different companies are doing different good work. Somebody is better in something and somebody is better in something else. So we are flexible enough, and all these companies have opened up a little bit to open their platforms to that integration that is required over there. So here, these days, you can always see that how all these companies are working together to get the end results and provide their best solutions to our customers as well.
Yes, I mean, I can add one point. I am a non-ERP owner. So yes, ERP companies have evolved. This is the secret of their success. Over the last 20, 30 years, they have not, remained rigid. They were flexible. I mean, one example which readily comes to mind is that when SAP bought 4Success company of US and converted into its cloud SuccessFactors HR software. So this is one example. So this continuous evaluation and value addition in your offerings, this has helped the ER companies to sustain and grow.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, on that one. Just some concluding remarks in terms of the session itself is that cloud and on-prem, both are the journeys that are running in Pakistan, but overall the world is moving to the cloud direction. And I think different businesses in Pakistan also need to start at the leap of faith that is required to be done in that cloud business. Change management will always be one of the key parameters of being success of any digital transformation journey. And that change management is the customer is the key part of that one. And he needs to make sure that their teams believe in that project, believe in that digital transformation journey, and believe the end results that we are looking at. And I think the last point is that all these companies with this uncompromising enterprise are readily available to make all these applications work and run together to the benefit of the end customers and end result. And that is the journey that will take us to the future as well. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.